Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this Biotecnica's YouTube channel. How are you guys? Welcome back students. Today it is going to be a very important lecture. This time we are going to announce a NEET PYQ's Prerna series. So in this series we are going to have an interactive session with all of you guys. Here we are going to discuss a previous year NEET PYQs, and along with it we will also discuss the solutions of detailed solution of all the PYQs. So if you are going to write this NEET exam, so this series is for you guys. So welcome back students. Hello Mathi, how are you? So I'm sure you guys are all done with your revision, and today we are going to practice previous year questions of NEET examination. So this series will be kind of mixed. So I have chosen questions from all the botany and zoology of NEET biology syllabus. So we are going to discuss questions for the upcoming NEET exam. Very good evening, Srivani. So this session is going to be live for 1 hour daily. So I request all of you to attend this series till the last, so that you can revise all of the concepts and logics that you have already covered in the last 15 days, because you are going to have a NEET examination on 17th this month. So I request all of you to please join, come up and have an interactive session with us, so that we will be solving more and more number of questions, which will be easier for you to tackle in all of the examination, whether it is NEET. So we are here to discuss about NEET. So it will be easier for you to solve every numericals, every conceptual question, experimental questions of NEET examination. So here I will be waiting for 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'll start with the lecture. So I request all of you to please share this link to everyone, so that if your friends are also writing for this exam, so that they can get access to this link, and they should also attend this live lecture. Welcome, Abhishek. Abhishek, here we are going to discuss the previous year questions. So we are already done with the revision. So if not attended any of the previous year revision lectures, so please attend all those lectures. And here we are going to discuss the PYQs for the NEET examination. And this PYQs, it is going to be for NEET biology on the first day, that is today, where I'm going to deal the NEET botany and zoology questions together. If you have more doubt or any query regarding this series, that is NEET PYQ's Prerna series, I request you to join our Telegram group, Biotechnica Telegram group. The link you can find on the description below, or you can also call us on a toll-free number, the number that is displayed over a screen. If not, you can also write a mail to us at info@biotechnica.org. So you can be clear with all of your queries that is regarding this series that we are going to run for the 10 days. Hello, Abhirami. Welcome back, students. So shall we start? How's the Josh, guys? Shall we start with this series? How's the Josh, everyone? I think this series is going to be very exciting and interesting for you, because we are going to solve previous year questions. So we have already covered all the concepts. So this is going to be very interesting and exciting. Yes. Welcome back, dear tech. Okay. So the first question that you have on the screen is, in a plant gene, A is responsible for tallness and its recessive A allele A for dwarfness, and B is responsible for red flower color and its recessive allele small b for white flower color. A tall and red color plant with genotype AABB crossed with dwarf and red color AAB. What is the percentage of dwarf white color offspring of above cross? So the options for these questions are: option first 50%, B is 6.25%, 3 is 12.5%, and the fourth is 75%. So this question is from genetics. And here you have to deal with dihybrid cross. So be careful, you have to find the percentage of dwarf white flower colored offspring. So I expect answer from all of you guys. Once you put your answers in the comment box, I will be discussing solution for the same. Yes, come on guys, what is the right answer for this question? Just you have to make a Punnett square for this, and again you have to find the probability. And at last, what probability you are getting, you have to find a percentage for this. So I'll give you 1 minute to solve this question, and then I'll go with the explanation. Okay, dare take option 2. And others, Abhishek, Silvaras, Shivani, Mathi. Okay, Abhishek, 12.5. Let's see. Very good, guys. You can come up. Yeah. Option 2, Silvaraj. Srimani, Mathi, you can also answer. So you have 20 more seconds. You can just solve this question and we will proceed with the explanation for this. So I think I should proceed with the explanation. So thank you guys for answering for this question. So let's understand what is the question asking about. In the plant, A is responsible for tallness and A for dwarfness. That means here they are considering a dihybrid cross. Why dihybrid cross? Because here they are focusing on two characters. That is the flower color as well as the height. So if the flower color red is for dominant and R is for recessive allele. And here the flower is tall or the plant is tall and here it is dwarf. So it will have the recessive allele. So let's see what is asking about. A for tallness and small a for dwarfness. A for tallness and small a for dwarfness. And B is responsible for red flower color and it's recessive for B flower color, white flower color. So B is for red and small b is for white. A tall and red colored plant with a genotype AABB crossed. Now let's write what it is asking about. AABB is crossed. AABB is crossed with dwarf and red color, that is small a and capital B, small b. So here they're asking about dwarf white flowers. So we all know that dwarf is a recessive character and again white is a recessive character. So what will be the genotype for this? Dwarf and white, small a, small bb. So how to solve this question? So suppose AA and AA. So I'm considering only a genotype. So what will be the Punnett square for this? AA small a. So out of 4, you are getting 2 small a small b. That is what the question is asking for. So that will be 1 by 2. And again, small b, if you cross this, you will get small b, that is 1 by 4. Because BB, when it is crossed with BB, you will get only 1 out of 4 combination. That is 1 out of 4. What is the total after multiplying these two values? That will be 1 by 8. And once you solve 1 by 8, you will be getting 0.125. And here you have to calculate the percentage of dwarf white flower. We have already calculated the probability of dwarf white flower, that is AABB. That is 0.125. But here to calculate percentage, we will divide or we will multiply all these value with 100 because this is percentage. So once we divide this value by 100, it will be 12.5 percentage. So the correct answer for this question is option 3. That is 12.5 percentage. So how you have to proceed with this kind of question? Firstly, you have to make a Punnett square. You have to multiply all the probability, and once the probability is multiplied and last digit that you are getting of value, you have to multiply with 100 because we have to find the percentage for the total. So I'm sure this question is clear to everyone. Yes, Srivani. So well done everyone who have answered for question 3, and for those who have answered this wrong, so you can attempt the next question. So the next question you have on the screen is, how does steroid hormone influence the cellular activities? Option A, activating cyclic AMP located on the cell membrane, using aquaporin channel as secondary messenger, changing the permeability of the cell membrane, or binding to DNA and forming a gene hormone complex. So yes. So what is the correct answer for this question? Question number 2. So the options are option A, option B, or is it option C or option D? How does steroid or hormone influence the cellular characteristics or activities? Firstly, you have to think and recall how steroid hormone is acting in a body. Okay, Srivani, is it option A? Let's see. Others? Endocrine signaling, right? Srivani, steroid hormone, it is a type of endocrine signaling. Because hormone, they usually mediate through endocrine pathway. Abhishek, Dear Tech, Abhirami, please answer for this question, everyone. So let's proceed and see what the answer for this question. So we all know that there are two types of hormone. Hormones, they are a part of endocrine system because they are chemical substances that are released in blood or they reach to their target option. Now there are two types of hormones, or you can say chemical messenger. One is hydrophilic and the other one is hydrophobic. Now all the hormones that are secreted in the body and act to their target option are target organs, they are hydrophobic in nature, and that too, to perform this function, they always have an intracellular receptor. Now what is intracellular receptor? Intracellular receptor are those receptors that are present inside the cell. So they will be finding their receptor inside the cytoplasm, and that too inside the nucleus. So what happens once the steroid hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, they enter inside, they will cross the phospholipid bilayer. Why? Because they are hydrophobic in nature, and we all know that plasma membrane, it is made up of a phospholipid, and this phospholipid plasma membrane, it is hydrophobic. That means the hormone will be dissolved in this membrane and it will allow this hormone to pass through it, and once they will reach inside the cell, they will bind to their receptor, that is what called as intracellular. Intra means within, cellular means cell, the receptor that is present within the cell. And once it, suppose this is a hormone, it is binding with the receptor. Once it is binded to its receptor, it will cause the activation or a repression of gene. This whole complex will bind to some sort of DNA segment and will initiate the gene expression. So what is the correct answer for this question? It will bind to the DNA and form a gene hormone complex. How it is forming a gene hormone complex? By binding to the DNA segment. So the explanation for this question is steroid hormone directly enter into the cell and bind with intracellular receptor. How it is entering into the cell? Because it is hydrophobic in nature. That means it will be easily dissolved in the phosphobilipid layer of a plasma membrane in the nucleus to form a hormone receptor complex, where it will form a complex. The hormone receptor complex interacts with the genome, that is the gene segment, and affects the cellular activity. So here we'll see a diagram for this. Suppose this is a steroid hormone. So it will cross the phospholipid bilayer. Suppose this is a plasma membrane which is made up of phospholipid. It will cross the membrane, and once it will cross, it will find its receptor. You can see here it is finding its receptor in the cytoplasm, and once it will bind to its receptor, it will translocate into the nucleus, where it will bind the specific gene segments and show its cellular response. So the correct answer is binding to DNA and forming a gene hormone complex. Yes. So let's proceed to the next question, right? So the next question you have on the screen is match the following hormone with the respective diseases. Here you have to match the hormone with their functions. So the first is insulin, thyroxine, corticoids, growth hormone, and the correct options and the combinations are here on the screen. So here you have to pick a correct option. Option A, is it option B, option C, or option D? So here I'll give you 1 minute to solve this question. Carefully solve this question and omit the rest of the answers. So how you have to solve these questions? Once you will find a correct option for any one of the, whether it is insulin or any one hormone, you have to omit the other options. This is what called the strategy to solve the match of the following questions. Screen is not clear, Shivani? So you can just go to the settings and increase your resolution. Make it to 1080 pixel. Option A. Okay, Mati, well done. Others, please. Okay, Daretech. How you can match insulin with other options? Like this is column second, this is first. Okay, Shivani, let's see what's the correct answer. Abhishek and all, you can also answer for this question. So now let's proceed to the explanation for this. So we all know that insulin, it is a hormone that is secreted by beta cell of pancreas. So when there is an if deficiency of insulin in the body, what happens? There will happen a hyperglycemia. The blood glucose level will rise, and this condition is known as diabetes mellitus. So can we pair insulin with option fifth? Because here happens a decreased secretion of insulin that will cause the blood sugar level to rise. So A, you can find option fifth. So you can clearly omit the other two options because it is not saying A with fifth. So here you can just omit the other option, that is option B and option D. Now we are left only with two options, that is A and C. Now let's see the other combination for thyroxine. Now again thyroxine, it is a hormone that is secreted by thyroid gland. But if it is secreted in very lower amount in the body or in low concentration, it will cause the hyposecretion of a thyroxine hormone. And this condition is what called as goiter, where you will have an enlarged neck. This is what called as goiter. So shall we pair this B with 4? Yes. So this is B with 4. So you can find only B with 4 wala combination only in one option, that is option A. So here the option A goes right. So this is what the strategy for solving match the following question. So if you are getting this type of question in examination, so try to solve this, because if you are getting only one combination correct, you can make your right answer. If you are knowing about other options or not, you can just make it right. So let's see for other options also. So corticoids are a hormone that are released by adrenal cortex, and they are responsible for causing the Addison's disease. So for C, we are having this option. So we can write it as 3 or C. And for growth hormone, if there is an overproduction of growth hormone in the body, it results in a condition called acromegaly. So this is for option 4. So here the option A goes right. Now let's see the explanation for this. So diabetes mellitus, it is a condition, as I've already stated, in which there is a high blood glucose level due to the insulin deficiency in the body. So where you have an insulin deficiency, you will have the high blood glucose level. Then what is diabetes insipidus? Diabetes insipidus is another condition where there happens a deficiency of ADH hormone. That is what called as vasopressin. This hormone is released by posterior pituitary. And what does it cause? It will cause the dehydration. If it is not released, it will result into dehydration. So to prevent dehydration in the body, it will act on the kidney and absorb all the water and electrolytes from there. So iodine is responsible for the thyroxine. When it is secreted in low amount or hypothyroidism, it will result into the condition called as goiter. So the adrenal cortex, they release the corticoid hormone and they will lead to a disease called as Addison's disease. And acromegaly is a hormonal disorder where you will have a condition of high growth hormone in the body that will lead to the increase in the size of your bones, your hands, your feet, as well as your face. So I'm sure this question is clear to everyone. Shivani, you can just increase the resolution. You can make it to 1080 pixel. And if it is not happening, you can rejoin us back. So let's go to the other question. What is the site of perception of photoperiod necessary for the induction of flowering in plants? Is it shoot apex? Is it leaves? Is it lateral buds? Or is it pulvinus? How photoperiodism is acting in the plant? What is the site of perception of photoperiodism? What is the correct answer for this question? How the flowering is induced in different kinds of plant? What is the site of perception? That's great, Datek. Let's see what's the correct option. So this is a straightforward question. So I'm directly moving to the explanation part. So we all know that there are two types of plants. One is short day plant and the other one is long day plant that actually required a long photo period for its flowering. So what happens in case of photoperiodism? Suppose this is leaves. So in leaves, suppose this is a site for the perception of the photoperiodism stimulus. So what will happen? Suppose this is a long day plant. It will receive the response of the photoperiodism and it will cause the activation of one plant hormone that is what called as florigen. And once this hormone is activated, florigen, the name only suggests it is responsible for the flowering. So where is the site of perception of photoperiodism? Whether it is short day plant, whether it is long day plant or day neutral plant. So the site for perception of photoperiodism is leaves. So once this hormone is activated, it is synthesized in the leaf. This florigen is transported to the shoot apex. So suppose this is a plant, the shoot apex will be here. So this hormone is synthesized in the leaf area and this is transported to the shoot apex. And once it reaches to the shoot apex, there it initiates the initiation of flowering or the floral primordia. So the correct answer is leaves, because here they are asking about the perception. And finally, once the hormone is made in the leaves, it is transported to shoot apex. But here we have to answer according to the questions. So the correct option for this question is option B, that is leaves. So let's see the explanation. So during flowering, photoperiodic stimulus is perceived by the leaves, yes, of plants, and as a result of this, a floral hormone, that is florigen, it is produced in the leaves, which is then translocated to the apical tip, that is shoot apical meristem, subsequently causes the initiation of flowering of floral primordia. So I'm sure this question is clear to everyone. If you have any doubt, you may post your query in the comments below. So the next question, that is question number 5th, you have on the screen is, what would be the heart rate of a person if the cardiac output is 5 liters? Blood volume in the ventricle at the end of the diastole is 100 ml and at the end of the ventricular systole is 50 ml. So here you have to calculate the heart rate or a heartbeat. So if you are knowing the formula for a cardiac output, you can do it. So firstly, for this type of question, you have to first enlist all the values that is given in the question. So what it is given? Cardiac output is given, diastole is given, ventricular systole is given. Just you have to calculate the heart rate or a heartbeat. So first write down the formula, put all the values, and you can make it. So what is the right answer for this question, Mathi? Dare Tech, Shivani, please answer for this question. So I'm giving you 30 more seconds to solve this question. So once you are done with the question, we'll solve and see what is the heart rate for this values. So the options are option A, B, C, and D. Same. So let's see for the explanation of this question. So we all know that cardiac output, it is equals to stroke volume into heart rate. What is the stroke volume? The volume of blood that is just left the ventricular part when during cardiac contraction. When the cardiac contraction happens, the part of blood that is pumped by a ventricular part of the heart, that is what called as a stroke volume. So we have a formula here, cardiac output is equals to stroke volume into heart rate. Now here we have to answer about the heart rate. That means the values for cardiac output and stroke volume is given. Yes. So the values for cardiac output, it is 5 liter. If I convert this 5 liter into ml, so it will be 5000 ml. Why I'm converting it into ml? Because here the other values are in milliliters itself. So we have to convert this liter into ml. Now here we have to find out the stroke volume. How to find out the stroke volume? Just minus the diastole minus systole value. Now what is the value for the diastole here? It is 100 ml. So if I subtract 100 ml minus 50 ml, what will I get? I will get 50 ml. So let's solve this question. Cardiac output, it is 5000 ml, which is equals to stroke volume. And what is the final stroke volume? 50 ml, because we are subtracting diastole minus systole ka value. That would be 50 ml into heartbeat we have to find out. Cross multiplication, what we will get? 5000 by 50 ml cut, that is 100 beats per minute. So the right answer for this question is option A, that is 100 beats per minute. So here you just need to have a glance at formula at the last minute, because if you are not knowing the formula, you will not make this question. So better you should recall all the formulas that are there in the textbook. Welcome, Agri. So I'm sure this question clear to everyone. So let's proceed to the next question. The next question you have on the screen is, match the following organisms with the product they produce. Now here you have to match all of the organisms product along with their names. So the first option is Lactobacillus. Second is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. third is Aspergillus niger, and the fourth is Acetobacter aceti. And the options are option A, option B, option C, option D. Here you have to match this, and the correct combinations are here. Just match and proceed option by option. And once you are finding out only one option, so that option will be correct. Option 2. Let's see. Option D. Okay, they attack. I'll give you 20 more seconds to answer this question because this is very easy. So if you are knowing one or two option, you can make this question out. Welcome, AMP. Option D. Most of them are saying option D. So let's see what is the correct option or answer for this question. So we all know that lactobacillus, it is a type of bacteria or microorganism which is causing the coagulation of milk. And once the milk will be coagulated, it will be converted into curd. So for A, the right answer is second. So where you are saying the second option? In option B, C and D. So abhi tak we are having three options. 2, 3, 4, and the option 1 is omitted itself from the first option. And the second is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. This is a mold or a fungus that is responsible for a formation of alcohol as well as bread. But in this combination, alcohol is not given. It is required for the fermentation of bread. जो bread का dough बनता है, so Saccharomyces cerevisiae is responsible for this. So here option 4 goes with B option. So where you are finding option 4? Only in two options. So options 3 and 4 are only left after two options. So the third is Aspergillus niger. Again, this is a type of fungus that is responsible for the preparation of citric acid. It synthesizes or produces citric acid. So the option 3 for Aspergillus niger is citric acid. So where we are finding option 3? So yes, so the correct option is option D, that is option 4. And Acetobacter aceti, the name itself suggests Acetobacter aceti, that means acetic acid. If you are not knowing about Acetobacter aceti also, but here the name कैसे rhyming है Acetobacter aceti, that means acetic acid. So this is responsible for the formation of acetic acid. So the right answer for this question is fourth. So well done everyone who have answered option 4. So all well done. So now let's proceed to next question, that is question number 7. Which of the following immune response is responsible for the rejection of kidney graft? So this is again a straight question. If you are knowing for this answer option, you can answer it. Otherwise, you have to skip this question. Is it option A, B, C or D? Option B. That's great, AMP and Dare Tech. Now let's see what is the correct option for this question. So we all know that there are two type of lymphocytes in the body. One is B cell and the other one is T cell. B cell is responsible for the production of antibody. B cell is responsible for the production of antibody, and that too it is produced by plasma cell. So the one cell is called a plasma cell and the other cell is called a memory cell. So plasma cell synthesizes antibody. But what is the function of T cell? T cell will expand and synthesize all different type of factors that will play a role in graft rejection or acceptance. Graft rejection or acceptance. So what happens when the graft is accepted from outside? So suppose this is a donor and this is a recipient. Now this donor is going to give this or donate this his one kidney to this recipient. but if recipient is compatible to with this donor ka kidney or not. So how we are going to see? We are going to see it with the help of T cell. Now here generates a cell mediated response that is mediated by T cell. T cell is only responsible for the acceptance or the rejection of this graft. That is what called as allograft. Allo here represents for species, and sometimes it can be syngraft, autograft. This graft can be of any type. So who is going to play an important role in the acceptance or rejection? It is T cell. And we all know that B cell, it mediates humoral mediated immune response, and T cell, it mediates cell mediated immunity. So now let's come back to the question and see which of the following immune response is responsible for the rejection of kidney graft. If it is rejected or accepted, that means it is signifying about T cell. And we all know that T cell, they play a role in cell mediated immune response. So the right answer for this question is option B. So very good everyone, those who have answered option B for this question, you all were correct. Yes, Mati, it is option B. So I'm sure this question is clear to everyone. If yes, so now let's proceed to the next question. So the next question you have on the screen is, which one of the following is true for golden rice? Why the rice color is golden? Is it because of option A, option B, option C, or as well as option D? So here you have to pick a correct combination why the rice is golden in color. Option C. Very good, MP. Others also can reply for this question. C. Genetic engineering. So now let's see what is the correct option for this question. So we all know that golden rice, it is a transgenic crop. How transgenic? Because here we are going to enter or insert a foreign gene. So the gene that we are going to insert it from outside is the gene from daffodil flower. So here you can see the daffodil. From here we are taking a gene and we are inserting it into plant, rice plant, making it transgenic. And this vitamin A that is responsible for beta carotene is only responsible for the golden color of the rice. So now let's go back and see the options. It is drought tolerant and developed using agrobacterium vector. No. It has yellow grains. Yeah, it has, because of a gene introduced from a primitive variety of rice, not from rice but from daffodil. So this option goes wrong here. It is vitamin A enriched because of beta carotene. Yes, correct, with a gene from daffodil. Correct. It is insect resistant, not at all. So the right answer for this question is option C. So golden rice is rich in vitamin A with a gene from daffodil that is rich in beta carotene or simple carotene. So I'm sure this is clear to everyone. If yes, so now let's proceed to the next question. That is question 9. Consider following features, and the features here are listed below. You have to match the correct option for this. What all combinations have all these three features? So the phylum name are given to you. You have to match accordingly. And these phylum should have the organ system level of organization, bilateral symmetry too, as well as they should be a true coelomate, along with the segmentation of the body. So what is the right answer for this question? Question number 9. So the option first is arthropod, mollusca and chordate. Option B is Annelida, mollusca and chordata. Option 3 is Annelida, arthropoda and chordata. And option 4 is Annelida, arthropoda and mollusca. Here you have to make it chordata. Last option, Annelida, arthropoda and chordata. So out of this you have to select one option. Option A. Very good, Mati. Shivani, well done. So now let's see how it is option A. So if you have revised all your concepts, so you have gone through this diagram too. So what is this diagram about? This is a diagram for phylum, all different kinds of animal organization. So you have organ system level of organization. Here it is asking for bilateral symmetry. And under bilateral symmetry, we have Platyhelminthes, Ashhelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, as well as Chordata. But here you have to answer about organ system level of organization. So organ system, bilateral symmetry, and also true coelomates. But true coelomates we are only having for Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, as well as Chordata. But if you see the last statement, it is also saying about the segmentation about body. So the only proper and true segmentation that is present in the animals, it is present in Annelida, Arthropoda, and again it is absent in Mollusca. It is absent in Echinodermata. It is absent in Hemichordata, but again it is present in Chordata. So the right answer for this question is we have to select organ system, bilateral, true coelomate, and again proper segmentation. So the right answer is Annelida, Arthropoda, as well as Chordata. So the right answer is option third here. So this is a diagram from the NCERT textbook. If you have forgot all these concepts, so just go back and recall all these tables and concepts again. So now let's proceed to the next question. So the very simple question that you have on the screen is xylem translocates. What is the function of xylem? Is it translocating water, mineral salts, and some organic nitrogen only? Second option is water, mineral salt, some organic nitrogen along with hormones. Third option is water only. And the fourth option is water and mineral salts. So which of the following is the correct answer option? Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? Very good, Daretek, amazing. Mathi, Srivani, AMP, Abhishek, Abhirami. You can also answer. Yes, what is the correct option for this xylem ka function? So we all know that there are two types of tissues in the body or vascular tissues. They are phloem as well as xylem. What they are? Phloem as well as xylem. So we all know that xylem is responsible for the translocation of water, mineral, some organic ions, along with some minute amount of phytohormones. But what is this phloem known for? This phloem is known for the translocation of food. This occurs in a bidirectional. This food ka translocation by phloem, it is bidirectional. But what about xylem? It is unidirectional. It transports water and mineral from down to the shoot apex. That is, it is unidirectional. But what it is doing? It is not only translocating water, not water and mineral, not only nitrogen, organic nitrogen, but also hormones. So the right answer is water, mineral salts, some organic nitrogen, and hormones. So the right answer for this question is option B. So how you have to solve all these kinds of questions? Suppose you are not knowing for this question, whether it is organic nitrogen only or it is not transporting or translocating hormone. So here, whenever you find an absolute word in the statement, that is only, never, always, they are most of the time incorrect. So here you are finding only in three options. That is option A, C, and D. If you are not knowing about this question also, but you can see there is an absolute word that is only, exclusive, always, never. So you can clearly omit this option. And what is the leftover option here? It is option B, because it can also translocate hormones. If it is locating organic nitrogen, then why not hormones? So it can translocate hormones too. So the right answer for this question is option B. So clearly you have to omit the absolute word. So even if it is a statement, you have to omit these kind of statement. So the right answer is option B. So now let's proceed to question number 11. You have to select the correct sequence of events how fertilization is taking place. So you have four combinations, and out of which you have to select the correct answer options. So the first option is option A, second is option B, third is option C, and the fourth option is option D. So here you have to select the correct sequence of fertilization, how fertilization is taking place and how the formation of organs are taking place in the body. This is very easy. Option A. Let's see what's the option. Well done, AMP. Dare take option D. All right. So what actually happens in fertilization? Option A. Okay, dare take. What others? Srivani, Mathi, well done, Mathi. Abhishek. So now let's see how the events of fertilization it is taking place in the body. So what happens actually? Firstly happens the gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is the formation of gamete where an ova will be formed as well as the sperm will be formed. So ova, that is egg, and sperm will be formed. Now there happens the transfer of gamete. So if it is a plant body, the transfer of gamete will be happening through the pollen tube. But if it is an animal body, the transfer of sperm will happen in the female body itself. So the second step is gamete transfer. Gametogenesis that will lead to the formation of the gamete cells, that is ova in female as well as sperm in male. It will lead to the gamete transfer, and after this what will happen? These two will fuse. Ova and sperm will fuse together. That is what called as syngamy. So till here where you are finding all these options in the correct combinations. So gametogenesis, it is there in every option. Gamete transfer in three options. So clearly you can omit the third option, that is not having syngamy in the third place. So we are having till syngamy. Now what happens after syngamy? It will lead to the formation of zygote. Now, once zygote is formed, it is a combination of egg and sperm. Now, once this is formed, it will undergo cell division. Because cell division, again, it is a characteristic of every living cell. This zygote will undergo cell division and it will lead to the formation of morula blastula. Once this cell is divided, it will be a nucleus and it will undergo further division. Now, what will happen? Once these all cells are made, now they will enter to the cell differentiation process. Now, what happens in the cell differentiation process? Cell will be becoming committed where it is going to perform a particular function in the body. So, what happens? Very simple. Syngamy, fusion of egg and sperm, it will lead to the zygote formation. Zygote will divide because it has to form the more number of cells. And once all the cells are made in the body, it will undergo cell differentiation process. Now, this cell differentiation process, every cell will be committed to a particular function, and in this way, organs will be formed in the body. So now let's come back and see the options. Syngamy, zygote, cell division or cleavage will happen, cell differentiation and organogenesis. Yes, option A is correct. But here you can see organogenesis and cell differentiation, they are replaced or exchanged with one another. So the option A is right here. So the correct answer is option A. So I'm sure this is clear to everyone. If you are not able to clearly say it, if you want me to repeat, I can repeat it for you. Just post your query in the comment section if you have not understood it fully. So I can do it for you. If not, so let's proceed to the next question. So the next question you have on the screen is a typical angiosperm embryo sac at maturity. It is called as 7 nucleate and 8 celled, 8 nucleate and 7 cell, 7 nucleate and 7 cell, 8 nucleate and 8 cell. The correct option are option A, option B, option C, and option D. Here you have to select the suitable answer for this question. Well done, AMP, Daretech, Mathi, Srivani. 7 celled and 8 nucleate. Let's see how. So this diagram is from NCERT book. So you may be knowing when the embryo sac is formed, it is formed during the process of meiosis, and that at the time of megasporogenesis. So what happens? Embryo sac is formed. It will have 3 antipodal cell at the chalazal end and the 2 synergist cell towards the micropylar end. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So what happens? The central cell is having 2 polar nuclei, but they are associating and constituting it like a one cell. So this 2 polar nuclei, they will constitute together and form one central cell. That is why it is forming 7 celled and 8 nucleus. What it is forming? 7 cell and 8 nucleus. So the option B is right answer. Why? Because it is forming 7 celled and 8 nucleus. Why 8 nucleus? Because of polar nuclei. There were 2 polar nuclei in a mature embryo sac. They were constituting a central cell together, and this is why this cell is represented as one cell only, but actual they are bearing 2 nuclei. So if we count, we will have 3 antipodal, 2 synergids, that means 5, 3 plus 2 is 5, 1 egg cell 6, and 1 central cell that will bear 2 nuclei again. So total is 8 nuclei, but this central cell, they are associated together, these nuclei, and they will form one cell. That means 3 plus 2 is 1 plus 1 is 7. 7 celled and 8 nuclei. Yes, very good, everyone. So now let's proceed to the next question, that is question number 13. So again, you have a question from genetics from Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. A gene locus has 2 allele, A and small a, capital A and small a. If the frequency of the dominant allele A is 0.4, then what will be the frequency of homozygous dominant, heterozygous, and homozygous recessive individuals in a population? You have 4 options given here. You have to select the correct answer option. Is it option A, option B, option C, or is it option D? So you have to apply a Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium genetics here. What is the right answer for this question? Option A. Every one of you, please answer what is the right answer for this question. You have to apply a Hardy-Weinberg genetics formula here. Option A, well done, AMP, Daretech, amazing. Yes. So now let's see how to solve these type of questions. So we all know that Hardy-Weinberg principle. The formula for this is P square plus 2PQ is plus Q square is equals to 1, where P stands for dominant allele and Q stands for recessive allele. Then what is 2PQ here? 2PQ is a heterozygous condition. So here they have mentioned about the dominant allele A is 0.4. So now let's consider this P allele as A because they have mentioned A in the question. So accordingly, we have to consider this. So here they have given 0.4, but here I am saying it is P square. So 0.4 into 0.4 is 0.16. Then what about Q square? That means small a. It will be, because we all know that P plus Q is equals to 1. But here P is given 0.4 in the question. Then what will be Q? Q will be 1 minus 0.4, because here we have to find the recessive allele ka value. Dominant allele they have already given 0.4, and for the recessive allele it would be 1 minus 0.4, that is 0.6. I'm sure this is clear to everyone. Now, how to solve this q square? It will be 0.6 into 0.6, which will equal to 0.236. Now, what about the heterozygous? That is 2pq. You just have to put the value for p or q. 2 into 0.4 into 0.6. What it will be? 0.48. So 0.16, 0.48, 0.36. I hope this calculation is clear to everyone. So the right answer for this is 0.16, 0.48, 0.36. So the right answer is option 1. Just you need to recall the P plus Q is equals to 1 ka formula. That is for the allele frequency. But what is Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium? It is P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equals to 1. If they are giving you one dominant allele ka value, then you have to just subtract this value from 1 and you will get the Q allele. But in the other case, if they are giving you recessive allele, then what you have to do? You have to do 1 minus recessive allele, that will give you dominant allele. And here you have to put it in the formula, whatever values you are getting, you have to just square it. And then you will get your answers. And once you will plus or add all these value, you will get 1, because Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium says p square plus 2pq plus q square is always equals to 1. So now let's proceed to the next question, that is question number 14. Following statement describe the characteristics of the enzyme restriction endonuclease. Identify the incorrect statement. Here are the 4 options. Be specific. Here you have to identify the incorrect statement. You have to see the catchy word in the question. So the options are option A, B, C, and D. If you want me to read the options, I'll read it for you if the screen is not clear to anyone, so I can read it. What is the right answer for this question? So this question is from biotechnology ka part, that is from class 12th. So we all know that option D, very good AMP. So we all know that restriction endonuclease. नाम से ही पता चल रहा है endonuclease. Nuclease means an enzyme that is going to cut the nucleic acid. But what is the nucleic acid here? It is DNA. So how it will cut? It will cut endo. That means suppose this is a DNA fragment, so it will cut inside the DNA. That is what called as endonuclease. Nuclease means nucleic acid ka cutting with the help of an enzyme. That is, it will act inside endo. Then what is restriction? It will cut into the restricted side. It will recognize the specific sequence of the DNA and will cut there. That is what called as restriction endonuclease. Then how it is cutting? It will not only cut the single segment, it will cut both the DNA fragments. This is what the function of restriction endonuclease. It is going to recognize both the segments of DNA. So now let's go back and see the options. If you see, the enzyme binds the DNA at a specific site because it is called as restriction. Restriction matlab it needs the specific slice to cleave it and cuts only one of the two strands. Wrong. The enzyme cuts DNA molecule at an identified position within the DNA. This is right, because here you can also see the absolute statement, only one. No, it is not cutting only one of the statement, but it is acting on both the statement. That is why the option C goes right. This is option 3. Now let's go to the next question. Which one of the following protocol did aim for reducing emission of chlorofluorocarbons into the atmosphere? Option A, option B, is it option D, C, or option D? What is the correct answer for this question? So we all know that Montreal Protocol, it was agreed on September 16. So why it was signed? It is an international treaty that aimed to reduce the emission of chlorofluorocarbons or agents that are causing the ozone depletion. Because now we are having a hole in our ozone layer. This is what? Because of chlorofluorocarbon. So to reduce the emission of CFCs into the atmosphere, Montreal Protocol was signed. So the right answer for this question is option C, that is Montreal Protocol. We'll do this last question and then we'll conclude, or we'll stop this session here. So question number 17. In a species, the weight of a newborn ranges from 2 to 5 kg. 97% of the newborn with an average weight between 3 to 3.3 kg survive, whereas 99% of the infants born with weights from 2 to 2.5 kg or 1.5 to 5 kg die. Which type of selection process is taking place? So again, experimental type question. Here you have to select the suitable option from this. Is it disruptive selection? Is it cyclical selection? Is it directional selection or stabilizing selection? Yes, Mati. Yes, Shivani. You both are correct. No, Srivani, for heterozygous, we have to take 2PQ. Why we are considering 2PQ? Because both the PQ, that means the dominant allele as well as the recessive allele, they are contributing. That is why it is called as heterozygous. Hetero means different. And here it is called as homozygous. Homo means same. So both the P allele would be there, making it as P square and Q square. That is why we are multiplying it from 2, because we have the contribution of both the alleles here. That is why we are writing 2PQ, not just PQ here. I hope, Srivani, this is clear to you. Option C, that is directional selection. So now let's see. It is saying the weight of a newborn ranges from 2 to 5 kg. Weight of the newborn, suppose this is 2 kg and this is 5 kg. So weight of the newborn ranges from this. 97% of the newborn with an average weight between 3 to 3.3 kg survive. If it is 3 to 3.3 kg, they will survive. Whereas 99% of the infant born with weights from 2 to 5, 2 to 2.5. But if they are from 2 to 2.5, they will be died. They will not survive. And if it is 1.5 to 5, they will not survive. That means which type of selection process is taking place. So you can clearly see the mean value. It is not changing. And the mean, it is getting narrower. When we have to select two different values, that is what called as disruptive selection. So here you can see the graph. Suppose this is the main picture. And if the disruptive selection is taking place, you will have two peaks. But here, according to the question, these all infants, they are dying. And here only the mean value or the mid value is selected. In the graph, you can clearly see when the mid value is selected. Mid value is selected in the first graph. That means it is a stabilizing selection where the peak gets higher and narrower. Why it is getting higher? Because all other values, they are deleted from here. Then what is directional selection? When the peak shifts to either of the one side. If it was this before, if the peak is shifting to the right or to the left, this is what called as directional selection. When the peak shifts from the middle to either of the side, this is what called as directional selection. But here, according to the question, all the values, they are, all the infants, they are dying here, but only the middle part is selected. That means 3 to 3.3 kg. And we can clearly see 3 to 3.3 kg, this value is between 2 and 5 kg. That is why the peak is getting higher and narrower. And this type of graph, it is known as stabilizing selection. So the right answer for this question is option 4, that is stabilizing selection. So I hope this question is clear to everyone. So we'll solve all these questions in the next lecture. So I'm here to conclude my session today because it was for 1 hour. So here I'm going to conclude. Thank you everyone for watching this session. If you like this session, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to all your friends. Every day we are going to come live for 1 hour, that is from 4 to 5 p.m. where you are going to have an interactive live sessions with all our experts, and here we are going to discuss about all the previous year questions along with their solutions. So tomorrow we are going to come up with the chemistry series. So an expert will come and they will discuss physical, inorganic and organic solutions part. So be tuned and connected tomorrow and for the rest of the days, that is for 10 days. So today we have come up with NEET biology and tomorrow it will go for chemistry. So every day we will be coming for biology, chemistry, that is alternate days. So thank you everyone for time and patience. Meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care, wish you all the best.